is overhit. But the problem Betis have got, you can see already they're really aggressive in the press. It's when that press gets bypassed and they get turned around. Especially Cardoso gets bypassed, then the back four have a bit of a problem. So they've got to be careful, get the balance right when they press, how often they press.
Into midfield, but it's picked up again by Fornals. Zauli has two men on him this time as Gusto gets back. Isco. Zauli. Well, he tried to play it into that uncertain area for the keeper, Jurgensen.
Yeah, Isco at the moment is just running the game. He's pulling the strings. He's so difficult to dispossess. He's not the biggest physically, but his technical ability, the ball seems stuck to his feet and he can manipulate it so quickly, and his vision, his spatial awareness is just sensational.
Yeah, Betis is so sharp. Running the ball back so quickly, Bakambu on the early strike. Almost catching Jurgensen out, and he's fuming with his defence. And it was Mark Bartra with it, the central defender. Yeah,
you can see how high up the pitch Betis are pressing because the centre half is taking this shot on. It's a hugely important save. From the end of the game, that save could be absolutely vital. You know, Chelsea going 2 down early, that would have been a mountain to climb for them. It's a brilliant piece of goalkeeping.
Isco with the corner. Gets it back from Anthony. Isco dinking it to the edge of the box. Yusuf Sabali, the right back with the strike.
Chelsea just need to sort themselves out defensively here and get some kind of defensive platform, get a foothold in the game, build from there, because they're just giving the ball away, or they're being pressurised into giving the ball away, and they're getting overrun.
Jackson, Madueke, Sabali's with him. Still the England international. With 4 yellow and white shirts around him. Isco. And the free kick's gone against Bajashir.
There's a promising position there for Madueke, but he just runs in field to wrong choices, running into traffic, running into green and white shirts, and see that Chelsea are looking to maybe get physical with Isco to try and reduce his influence on the game, which so far has been huge.
The first 15 minutes have absolutely flown by. Plenty for Enzo Maresca to consider. Very much the favourites to win this match, but Spanish clubs have an extraordinary recent record against non-Spanish opponents. Since 2001, they've won all 19 UEFA finals against clubs from outside of Spain.
Yeah, the omens are good for the Spaniards, but again, you've got to make it happen, and it's still very early in the contest. I suppose Enzo Maresca will say, if we're going to concede early, give ourselves time to recover.
Torres.
Madueke, Caicedo wearing a facial mask. An injury against Newcastle United. Madueke, Sabali first to the ball. They are really playing with their tails up. They have had the extra couple of days to recover since their final league game of the season. They got to play on Friday night. Chelsea played on Sunday and had all the joy and euphoria of sealing that 4th place in the Premier League. Fornals won this trophy a couple of years ago with West Ham United.
I just wonder whether Chelsea are maybe a little bit surprised with the strength of this Betis start. They've been outstanding.
Isco bringing it back. Bakambu made the run, intercepted by Cucurella. Now Madueke finds Jackson, a good turn from him, but ran into... Oh, it looked as though Bartra initially had won it. Fairly, not so. I
just wonder whether Bartra goes through the man to get to the ball.
Baru bisa.
I think he does actually. Maybe just get his left foot on the ball. So it's fact maybe that the striker goes to ground, makes the referee's mind up a little bit.
Pagi banget lagi tadi bangunnya. 2-0 ya anjing, gua ketinggalan 2-0 nyet.
Champions League football for the first time in 3 seasons. Jackson. Gusto. Neto with a heavy touch to Palmer. Had such a fabulous first half of the season, Cole Palmer. Goals have rather dried up in the second half of the campaign. Neto into Palmer. Portugal international loves to play on that right-hand side, left-footed as he is. So too Palmer. Palmer. Now Neto again. Back to Gusto, the Frenchman. Caicedo.
Apakah ini adalah hari Chelsea mengangkat piala, teman-teman?
Neto managed to keep it in. The Betis fans thought not. Chelsea knocking on the Real Betis door. So far, struggling to find the key.
There's plenty of possession here from Chelsea. I think they really needed this just to get a foothold in the game. Plenty of passes, but it's all across the face of that Betis defence. They're not really getting in behind or getting out wide. And then they're trying to force the issue as they've done there and given the ball away. And then the counter-attack is suddenly on.
As soon as they do get the ball, Real Betis, they are fast, they are sharp, and they spring
they're looking
out of the traps.
Yeah, they're looking to encourage Chelsea on, play across the front of us. One poor pass, we pick it off. Then our players can get back at you very quickly. It's very difficult to play that way. It's hard work because you're doing a lot of defending, but you have to be very fit and willingness to get back up the pitch quickly, and they're very good at it.
Caicedo to Fernandez, nicely done between the two midfield stalwarts this campaign. Neto. Floater ball towards Madueke.
Masih dengan 1-0 ya, menit 19 ya, Betis.
Neto. It's Palmer, nice turn. Keeps running into traffic whenever he tries to break into the Real Betis box.
Yeah, look who's back there defending, Isco. He's covering so much ground for the team, it's extraordinary.
Anthony needs support. Heavy touch by the goal scorer, but he's in here. Esselsouli once again. This for number 2. What a glorious opportunity to put daylight on the score sheet.
Oh, it's so slick, it's clever football from Betis because Fornals drops deep. Cardoso, who normally plays at a deep line position, breaks forward in between the Chelsea lines. He gets on the ball. Gusto, again, you've got to do better than that. You've got to win those challenges, and when the ball is laid back, it is a difficult chance because he's being closed down. See what he's trying to do, place it in the top corner. The football, the flowing football going forward from Betis is outstanding.
Let's go with the corner. Let's go once again. Not making Jackson. Sabali. You just get the impression, Andy, that perhaps Real Betis need to score a second while they're on top.
Absolutely. I think Chelsea, clearly, they do have the firepower, and if they have more and more possession as the game goes on, and maybe Betis tire a little bit, opportunities will come along. I expect Chelsea to score. I think it's the Betis way of playing. We don't just settle for 1 goal or 2 or 3. We keep going every time we have possession. We've seen that already, 2 very different game plans. But so far, Betis are the better side. I think Betis are a great example of it's not how much of the ball that you have, it's how effective you are with the amount of possession that you have. And even with, say, 40-45% of the ball, they can still cause you so many problems.
Betis have had 38% of the possession, 5 attempts at goal, 2 of them on target. Chelsea much more of the ball, but just the 2 attempts at goal, 1 on target. So very early days though, with barely a quarter of the game played. Zozuli, the goal scorer. Cardoso almost made it 2 just a few moments ago. There's a free kick to Real Betis for the foul on Zozuli.
Yeah, the first quarter of the game definitely belongs to Betis. They've got the goal. Jorgensen made a brilliant save. They had another good opportunity, Betis, to make it 2. So I think Chelsea will be, fairly thankful they're only a goal down.
Whether the Real Betis players might tire themselves early on, but what about the supporters who were so early in here? Chelsea going to come good at the end, having conserved that energy, maybe on and off the pitch, as Enzo Fernandez putting away with Fornals. Here's Bartra. Zozuli. Caicedo. So much pressure on Chelsea. And they feel they've won the ball back. Barely.
Yeah, I think Caicedo was fouled there, but again, it's just another example of the pressure on the ball. It's not comfortable for any Chelsea player when they have the ball. There's at least 1-2 players around them, making it difficult for them, denying them time and space to operate in.
Netral ya gue nggak dukung siapa, tapi kalau Betis juara
Chelsea securing Champions League football for next season. Real Betis have already secured Europa League football, having finished 6th in the table, drawing 4 of their last 5 games.
Chelsea dalamnya juga
Losing the other ones, not the best form coming into this. Maybe this has been on their mind though for some time. Caicedo beaten to it by Cardoso. Camber to Fornals. Now Isco. What a quality player he is. Zozuli in towards Bakamba. Now Jackson.
Jackson.
And just for a second, it looked as though Nicholas Jackson would be in there.
Yeah, I do feel this is maybe what Chelsea need to do. They're being too predictable. They're keeping the ball. It's all passes to feet. So Betis are reading that. They're stepping in, pinching the ball back time and time again. So just maybe playing that ball, a longer forward ball, over the top, turning Betis round. At times there's only the 2 centre-halves in there. So maybe Chelsea just needs to mix up their attacking game. At the moment, it's a bit too predictable.
Pellegrini, the former Manchester City, West Ham manager, amongst others. Malaga, where he was the manager of Enzo Maresca for a couple of years. Maresca referring to Pellegrini as his football dad, saying he learned so much about football from him. And when Maresca, earlier in his career, was playing with Isco there as well, Ruud van Nistelrooy, amongst others. They know each other pretty well.
Surely Manuel Pellegrini will have, he'll be delighted with the opening 26 minutes or so of the game. He'll just be disappointed his team aren't further ahead. They've played that well.
Madueke. What have Chelsea got here in attack? Cucurella. Beaten to it by Anthony.
And again, his balls into feet. They're not doing anything different, really. They're not mixing up their attacking game. Betis around or playing to Nicholas Jackson. They play off him. It's all kind of across the face of a well-stepped defence. They need to do a little bit more, move the ball quicker, and give that Betis defence more to think about.
Caicedo. Madueke in a little bit of space. Correa, the Spaniard. Chalabar, Gusto.
Yeah, it's really good one-on-one defending there. Savali up against Madueke. Got the defensive basics right, stayed on his feet, watched the ball, didn't commit himself too early and play into Madueke's hands.
Challenged by Cardoso.
It is noticeable there, just watching Mark Bartra, is getting the defensive line up, the team up the pitch toward the halfway line. What they don't want to do, Betis, is sit back on the edge of their own box, try and maintain that high line, because Chelsea, as I've mentioned, aren't really looking to play the ball over the top of the back four. It's all in front of them.
Chelsea as a club, so used to being on this major stage as Enzo Fernandez bursts forward with Madueke. This time is an early ball in to Jackson. Anthony slipped. Just wondered, do you think it has any kind of impact, the fact that this is such a huge occasion for Real Betis and for their supporters who are just not used to these occasions?
Yeah, absolutely. It's bound to have some bearing, but as players, it's very important. You listen to Manuel Pellegrini, you listen to the game plan, and you carry it out. If you start thinking about we can win our first European competition, it just becomes too overwhelming, and you lose what you're meant to be doing out there on the pitch. So the players have to be ultra professional to get the job done, then celebrate if they do win. It's pretty clear so far that the Pellegrini game plan has been carried out pretty much to perfection by his players.
He loves structure, he loves balance. Just to play to any opponent's weaknesses as well. Pragmatic if needs be. Esel Zauli again.
Woo!
Corner for Real Betis.
Well, it's good recovery from Gusto, because he's having such a big problem. Out there. At times he's dropping into midfield when Chelsea have the ball, and he hasn't got it. He's up against a really dangerous wide player who is dynamic, and he takes defenders on. He doesn't just look to play the ball backwards. He looks to get on the outside, looks to get crosses in. That really tests the fullback.
Chelsea nih.
Isco gets it back. Oh, what a lovely first touch from Isco. That was absolute quality. Now, Madueke with a clever touch. Chelsea on the counter. Neto's in space. And eventually it comes to him, but it's not the ball he wanted. What can Pedro Neto make of this? Palmer. Away by Nathan. Fornals hooks it clear.
Well, the counter-attack was very much on there for Chelsea, but how quickly Betis got back into a solid defensive shape, and that takes hard work, athleticism. It just shows you football. Yes, it's about playing when you have the ball, but when you don't have it, are you willing to put your head down and sprint back into a good, solid defensive position? And they did so there. They forced Chelsea backwards.
Neto. So Zauli, some defensive work to do. Madueke has not had too much joy as yet.
Well, he's given the corner away, Savali. Again, I mentioned it before about his defensive basics. Doesn't go diving in, he's in his own penalty area. He can't afford to do that, so stony feet, watch the ball. Okay, he's given a set piece away, but if he gets that, he's timing wrong or tries to make a challenge and mistimes it, he gives a penalty away.
Taken short to Palmer. Neto wants it back. It's gone to Gusto. Pushed down by Isco. He played 32 minutes almost. Is it too early to call a player of the match, Andy? What do you reckon?
As a team, Betis have been outstanding from back to front. Everything has been pretty much perfect. But Isco, we thought this before the game. The influence he's going to have on the game is enormous. It's just his unselfishness, his vision. He is such a team player, but a wonderful individual talent, his technical ability is off the charts.
Gila.
He's won all 3 Champions League finals that he's played in. Isco with Real Madrid.
We've seen his technical ability on the ball, but his work off the ball, he's dropping back into defensive position, he's working hard for the team to get the ball back. So, of course, he probably wants to win all those individual accolades, but he wants the team to be successful. So he's not just waiting for the ball to come to him, he's doing what's needed when they don't have it.
His last cap was in 2019. How many other international sides could go without a player of his talent for that long?
Abdul Ezzazzouli, guys, pemain mantan Barca itu. Gila. Golnya bagus juga, cuy.
That's been a really problematic opening half an hour or so for Chelsea. The only problem they've given Betis is the wide players with Madueke and Neto getting on the ball, running at fullbacks, putting crosses in. Apart from that, we've hardly seen Cole Palmer, hardly seen Nicholas Jackson. They're just not influencing the game so far.
Do you credit Real Betis?
Absolutely.
The reason for that?
Absolutely, yes. Made it so difficult, but those players have got to work harder, get into good attacking positions, so they can be found with those forward passes.
Such a strong squad. There are always players biting at the heels of the first teamers. They want to come on. So many options on the bench. Not necessarily out-and-out strikers, though Mark Guiu is fit enough. The young Spanish striker. They have experience, certainly in defence, with the likes of Reece James, etc. As Cardoso brings the ball away. Keelan Dewsbury Hall maybe feeling a little short-changed, not getting a start tonight, having featured so much in the alternative Chelsea side, which has reached this stage.
Yeah, it's very important those players don't sulk and feel sorry for themselves, because they still could have a huge part to play coming off the bench. You can still be the hero, so don't worry about not starting the game, but if you do come on, try and have an impact then.
Real Betis have now scored the first goal in 13 of their last 14 Conference League matches, so they're well used to being in this position, usually against such high-quality opposition as Chelsea, as Gusto's in there now. Neto. What about this for Chelsea?
Well, he's wildly optimistic because the angle is against him and he's slightly off balance, but the problems for Betis came from what I've been talking about, a ball over the top. Malo Gusto makes a run in behind that Betis defence, it turns them around, he secures the ball, then suddenly you've got a defence running back towards its own goal, and we haven't seen that enough. Chelsea haven't forced them to do that enough, but when they do, you can see it opens up some space for those attacking midfielders like Neto.
Saw a glimpse of Anthony there, the player on loan from Manchester United, who's absolutely loving life in Seville with Real Betis. He says he's happy every day, and it shows on the football field. But it's this man Ezzazzouli and this man Isco really dominated proceedings, but you get the impression there's more to come in this game from Anthony.
Yeah, I suppose that's the worry for Chelsea, isn't it? He's a player we've not talked about an awful lot, but he's in a rich vein of form. He's 5 goals in his last 9 games in all competitions, so if he gets involved in the attacking play as well, that's another problem for Chelsea.
Scored a stunning free kick in the semi-finals against Fiorentina. Savali back to Fornals. Here is Anthony, the Brazilian.
Yeah, it's his trademark move, isn't it? On this right-hand side, dropping a shoulder onto his left foot, then looking just to bend. You know, shots from open play or free kicks with that left foot of his is so difficult for fullbacks to do with. You have to get close to him when he moves in field.
Ezzazzouli flicked on. Isco looking to create another opportunity for Real Betis. Fornals is lurking on the edge of the box. Anthony wants it to. Not that time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Isco had for his pre-match meal, but it must have plenty of energy in it, because he has just covered virtually every blade of grass. He's been in his own half helping out the defence, breaking forward in a variety of positions. So again, you can admire that technical ability of his as well, and his work rate, but just, you know, at his age, to be covering so much ground, it's extraordinary.
33 years of age now. He made his first appearance of the season in December due to injury problems. And he's really making up for lost time. Gusto. Madueke's made a run. He's not had too much change out of Sabali as yet. Every Real Betis man sticking to his job. Caicedo floated in towards Palmer. Hooked away, Gusto's there. Referee waving play on. Zoli wanted the foul. Palmer.
And again for Chelsea, it's a ball in behind that Betis defensive line for Cole Palmer that causes the problems. He was slightly ahead of the ball, so he couldn't score himself. That's why he's trying to, I think, head it on to Nicholas Jackson for the striker to finish. But a ball over the top, I think he's giving Betis a lot more to think about than playing this possession-based game across the face of their defence.
Madueke. Those combinations just aren't working at the moment. It's a team that's changed a great deal from Sunday. It's largely been a different team in this competition to in the Premier League, and those partnerships that you tend to build up get disrupted when you play in a different competition with different partners down the flank or in defence.
Yeah, that was maybe it was a bit of a surprise to change three of the back four. Cucurella we expected to play, but to change the centre halves and bring another right back in, you're right, it's the communication, just being used to playing with each other, and of course you're up against a very dangerous attacking team, so you need a solid defence.
Presumably something his old boss is keen to take advantage of, knowing that there would be disruption in the starting lineup from their last game. Oh, it's given away by Enzo Fernandez. Fornals picks it up, gives it to Ezil Zali, the goal scorer. Wants to take on Gusto. Neto's on his back. Let's go again. A magnet to the ball. He just seems to know where it's going to be, and they find him. And he's won a free kick in a dangerous area for Real Betis.
Again, it's simple but so effective for Isco. He just plays the ball around the corner and follows it. Looks to get the return, then suddenly your goal side of the Chelsea player that's marking you, then is obliged to maybe dive in and try and win the ball back. But it's just, sometimes with Isco, just the simplicity. There, he's played the ball, he's on the move, Caicedo's chasing back. I think it's the fact that he just goes into Isco to try and win the ball. So, you know, saying I got a bit of the ball is not a defence. You've caught Isco as well, but just his movement, simple movement, over 5 metres or so, just causes players so many problems when you move them around.
Caicedo had to stop him. He's seen enough in the opening 40+ minutes here to know that he is the danger man.
Yeah, with Isco, if you see the way that he runs, you think as a defender or a midfielder, he's not going to run away from you, he's not lightning quick, but he just has that ability to slow you down and move the ball quickly, and then suddenly you're out of position.
It's his balance and low central gravity as well. Here he is again. Isco standing over this with his right foot. Anthony with his left. Anthony. Jurgensen doesn't claim it fully. It's way now to Madueke. On for Neto. Huge challenge from Pablo Fornals, and that is what it means to stop that Chelsea counter-attack.
It's a really important piece of goalkeeping there, because Anthony does the right thing. He just plays that ball into the corridor between the goalkeeper and the Chelsea defensive line. And the Chelsea defenders are just standing and watching while the Betis attackers are on the move. And if not for Jurgensen, Chelsea could have had a real problem there. Do
you think that was a sense of motivation, the fact that Maresca named Philip Jurgensen a few days out. There's Enzo Fernandez. Adrian coming out to claim.
Yeah, really positive goalkeeping, but again, falling behind the Betis defence, turning them around, getting them running back towards their own goal. Then the goalkeeper's got to time his forward run correctly. And when Chelsea have done that 4 or 5 occasions, they look at a different attacking animal. So just get the ball out of your feet, just deliver it. As long as the onrushing player is onside, which he was, it causes problems between goalkeepers and defensive lines, and it asks them a lot more questions than this possession football, which is relatively easy to defend.
Just on that situation with young Philip Jurgensen, who's not the #1 keeper at the moment, that's Robert Sanchez. The fact that he was named a good few days out, do you think that's said to Real Betis, they're playing their second choice goalkeeper?
Well, if
perhaps they think it's going to be easy enough against us.
Well, if not for Jurgensen, they could be 3 or 4 down. So again, he's not a poor replacement for other goalkeepers. He is a very good goalkeeper, and he's proved that already. No chance with the goal, but he's made 2 or 3, really important interventions.
Caicedo. Now, Gusto. Palmer. Madueke switch sides with Neto now. I find more joy. Good looking ball in towards Neto. A little too high for him.
And it's a great attacking position from Malo Gusto. I just feel that he over-hits the cross. He should be doing a little bit better keeping that ball. It's got to land really in the 6-yard box to give his teammates something to attack. He just over-hits it beyond the far post. Should be doing better. Need more quality in the final third, Chelsea.
Here's Gusto, Frenchman. Fornals. Isco. Cardoso.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Isco already, and Zalzali's got the goal as well, but Cardoso and Fornals in central midfield, they are so important to the functioning of the team. They cover so much ground, they help out the defence, and when they have the ball they can step forward as well. They're a brilliant combination in the middle of the pitch.
Palmer. It's been relatively quiet so far. Enzo Fernandez. Good looking ball to Gusto. Is Fernandez now. Cucurella. Neto. Fernandez goes for goal, takes a deflection, corner.
Yeah, they're not exactly on the ropes, Betis, but they're under a bit of concerted pressure now as well as we close in on half-time. It's been very much Betis' half. They could have been 2 or 3 goals to the good, but Chelsea, we know they have the attacking quality to hurt any team.
Is there to be some joy for Chelsea just before the half-time whistle blows? Enzo Fernandez. Chalobah was taking a flying leap up from the back. Anthony tried the quick break. Ricardo Rodriguez tried something similar.
I'll tell you what, that is an incredibly brave defensive header from Marc Bartra. Set piece comes in, you're right, Chalobah was on the move looking to get on the end of it, but Bartra had other ideas. Really brave clearance.
Seconds remain of the first half. Caicedo, Cucurella, now onto Jackson. Neto's in the centre. Caicedo tried to feed it through to Cucurella. Not away far from Natan. And surely that's the end of the first half. It is the end of the first half. One that the Real Betis bench are celebrating with their supporters, who have been magnificent on and off the pitch. A really strong and positive start. The side that finished 6th in La Liga, and is Ebdi Azalzaoui with the only goal that came in the 9th minute. And they came so close to number 2. Chelsea can't find a way through as yet, but there's a long way to go. Half-time in Poland. Real Betis 1, Chelsea 0.
Did you know Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating?
Is it weird seeing yourself on TV?
It's my job, isn't it? To let people know that Geico's more than just savings.
Certainly have our cat's attention. Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, it appears so.
Well, they just love great customer service.
Customer service, right.
They don't get this excited for wet food. You know?
No.
Guys, he's right here.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Who is that?
He's with me. Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see
He has been
overrated.
and never was.
It's really wonderful that Apex are giving second chances to the elderly.
You're just worried I'm quicker than you. Hi, I'm Sonny.
You say he was old. He not that old.
But I see the absolute best in the world.
F1 the movie. Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX June 27.
Every dream for your future starts with a plan. But at Corebridge Financial, we know it takes more. It takes action, like connecting with a financial professional to help guide you. Choosing retirement solutions so you can live the life you've worked for. And life insurance to protect the ones you love. Great things happen when you put your plans into action. Corebridge Financial. Action is everything.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa. Vamos.
Hay comida en la casa. ¿Tienes hambre?
Someone targeted our daughter.
What are we gonna do about it?
You still keep all that deadly stuff in your cookie jars?
I leveled up a bit.
Have I ever told you how deeply I appreciate your paranoia? Let's go.
I've got an idea.
A lot of shooting, a lot of pointless death. Does that sound good to anybody?
NCIS, Tony and Ziva streaming this fall on Paramount+.
You're watching Match Day, half-time between Chelsea and Real Betis, and an upset is on the cards. 1-0 Betis, and it could have been more. The American Johnny Cardoso sending it over the bar in that first half. Adam Hunt here in the studio with Nigel Reo-Coker, Charlie Davis and Nico Cantor. It was really entertaining first half. Didn't always go the way we thought. Charlie, let's start with the goal. Inside 10 minutes, Betis were ahead.
Incredible pass from Isco. You got to think about how they played this game. I think it was very smart in the way they got numbers behind the ball. They were organized, compact. They shrunk the field. Chelsea weren't threatening, but in this instance, look at Isco's vision. The no-look pass. He sees where Abde is, and Abde takes a great first touch. And look at the contact. Low, solid strike, side netting. Jorgensen had zero chance at making that save. It's a phenomenal goal to put them ahead early in the first half, and then just allow the Real Betis side to just absorb pressure.
And they had so much confidence after they scored that goal. Less than 5 minutes later, Nico, they could have had two. Mark Bartra had a good opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. He sniffed a play out. He's the one that intercepts and kind of just goes forward with it. Here it is. He escapes from a little bit of pressure and combines with Bakambu. And then he was in and he took the shot. He had a really good feel for the build-up of all of this, and he almost beat Jorgensen.
Good move from Bakambu as well to peel off the defender, create some space for himself, play a nice pass. And I think if he went to the back post...
Yeah, but you expect the center back to really have that type of vision.
No, but if you're going that far and you're going for the shot, it's a perfect back post.
That could prove to be a vital save for Chelsea.
Yeah, great save from Jorgensen. He's taken his opportunity, hasn't he? Put into the side, having not played that much in the Premier League this season. Nigel, for Chelsea, they've been slow in the transition, haven't really had much opportunity in front of goal at all.
No, they haven't. They've been outplayed. Real Betis have dominated the midfield area, and this is what we said about Chelsea. This is why their second half of their season has been poor. It's been a slow build-up. They get the ball at the back here. This is an example of it. Just laboured. They go out wide, and when you look at it, it's easy to shift and adapt. And Abde there was the goal scorer for Real Betis. Look at him now. He's there defending with Neto, doubling up. And because their movement of the ball is so slow, they can't get space. They can't really create anything. They can't be explosive. Cole Palmer's trying to influence the game and dropping in areas, but Isco, for me, has been the more influential player. He's been dropping in the right areas. Real Betis have been more effective. They've been better tactically. Chelsea do not have any answers right now.
There's two stats that stand out to me in this first half, and it's one is we see the possession dominant for Chelsea, but only 9 touches in the box to Real Betis' 15. So that gives you an idea of just getting players in the box and around. And then 7 shots to 4. It's just they're allowing Chelsea to have the ball, but they're not threatening. They're not in danger areas.
Even with Real Betis possession, for me, we talked about Anthony early on. Anthony hasn't really been existent. For me, it's been Isco that's been running the show. The experience that he has, the pockets he's drifting in, how he's making this Real Betis side play. And when they go direct. I've seen Cole Palmer drop deep and try to drop in areas to have a bit more influence, but there's been no movement. It's been so slow and laboured, which is what Chelsea have done through the whole second half of this season.
And you got to say that Anthony, though, off the ball has been working.
He's been working hard, yes, definitely.
Very much so, and Abde is on the other side.
And Nico, you said it as well, that Isco has that experience in these big moments, and to not take a shot there, you wouldn't have really criticised him. He was in that opportunity to have a go himself, but he saw the pass was open to El Azuli, and he made it, and the goal came from it. It was absolutely brilliant.
What does that mean? Answer the damn question.
Mucho fútbol.
Yeah.
Mucho fútbol.
OK, mucho break here on the show.
Hey.
We'll be taking you pitchside to Poland in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you then.
This your bag, sir?
What gave it away?
Oh, you the Geico Gecko! I'm a huge fan. I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, Geico's all about getting more than just savings.
The next time, how about less fluid ounces?
Fair enough. Oh.
You use this much serum?
Well, my skincare routine requires...
Trash. And a pump top? It's gonna make a mess. Well, I'm taking this.
You took all of them.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Have a nice flight.
Who is that?
He's with me. Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see...
He has been
overrated.
and never was.
It's really wonderful that Apex are giving second chances to the elderly.
You're just worried I'm quicker than you. Hi, I'm Sonny.
You say he was old. He not that old.
But I see the absolute best in the world.
F1 the movie. Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX June 27.
Introducing a symphony of new possibilities at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. With live craps, roulette, and sports betting alongside our classic ensemble of slots, blackjack, and baccarat. Florida residents receive up to 20% off hotel stay. Visit hardrockholly.com for more information.
Sadly, windshield chips can turn into windshield cracks. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Sweet.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home.
Safe light, safe light.
Don't wait. Go to SafeLight.com and schedule now.
Safe light repair, safe light replace.
We want to give audiences a reflection of their own world through the lens of science fiction.
Let's hit it.
Our reality has been changed.
Exciting, isn't it?
Good morning.
Good morning back.
Your host is dead. Hello? Port thruster standing by. You only have one shot.
That's all we need.
Hang on.
Welcome back to match day. Half-time between Chelsea and Real Betis in the Conference League final. 1-0 to the Spaniards at the break. It is working for Manuel Pellegrini and his players so far. Let's get out to the stadium and join Anita Jones once again pitchside with her first half thoughts. Anita, do the Spanish fans there, the Real Betis fans, do they feel like an upset is on the cards? Are they up for this?
Oh, they're definitely up for it, Adam. In fact, at times during that first half, it felt like it was a Real Betis home match. They are so loud in here. The Chelsea fans did make, I guess, their voices heard a bit towards the end when they had one of those attacks. But I've got to say, the Real Betis fans are on the verge of making history here with their side. They'll be hoping to get their hands on their first ever European trophy, and they've got 45 minutes to go.
Anita, in the first half, there's been all Real Betis. How are the Chelsea fans feeling right now about their team's performance? Not a lot to be positive about.
No, and you'd hope that Enzo Maresca can maybe tweak things to try and get Cole Palmer into this game more, Nigel. Of course, he's their talisman. I know his stats haven't been the greatest since mid-Jan. I think it's just one penalty goal and a couple of assists. But if you can get him on the ball, he can create absolute magic for this Chelsea side. And of course, I'm sure we heard the likes of Nico saying Dima Maghreb when Betis got that first goal. But if they can also keep the likes of Anthony quiet, then you think Chelsea have got a chance going into this second half. But we said before the game, the Blues are the clear favourites, but it would be really interesting if we could see another upset.
Dima.
Certainly would be. Thanks very much, Anita. Enjoy the second half. Chelsea, that's for sure, going to need a good start to that second period. Time for a short break. We've got the second half between Real Betis and Chelsea coming up next. 1-0 to the Spanish side at the break.
This your bag, sir?
What gave it away?
Oh, you the Geico Gecko! I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, Geico's all about getting more than just savings.
The next time, how about less fluid ounces?
Fair enough. Oh.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Who is that?
Here's with me. Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see.
He has been
Overrated.
and never was.
It's really wonderful that Apex are giving second chances to the elderly.
You're just worried I'm quicker than you. Hi, I'm Sonny.
You say he was old. He not that old.
But I see the absolute best in the world.
F1 the movie. Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX June 27.
I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow. How do you feel? No, how do you want to feel?
A new head coach.
Make it about us. We beat the odds.
And her new assistant.
Hey, Google, find me an alternate route because you decide the outcome.
And a must-win game.
No, we decide the outcome.
And the vision and a car that always delivers.
Bring it in! I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow.
The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Every day, 44 people in the U.S. die from a drug overdose, but they don't have to. Under Florida's Good Samaritan Act, you cannot be charged for calling 911 to get help for someone who has overdosed. There is help. Recovery is possible. Visit cfbhn.org for more information.
It's going to come out that your dad is the happy face killer.
You wanted us here to talk about a murder. What was her name?
Jane Doe.
People are like into true crime. He is a killer.
If you grow up with a monster for a parent, you end up as an adult with your own set of problems.
You must have spent a fortune on therapy.
I've never been, actually.
To match day 1-0 at half-time between Chelsea and Real Betis. The players are back in the tunnel getting ready for the second half. Charlie, Anita mentioned there that Maresca needs to try and get the man we saw just there, Cole Palmer, involved a bit more. But do you think he'll make any changes at half-time?
I don't see any changes at halftime, but one player that I see coming onto the pitch to make a difference is Christopher Nkunku. Jadon Sancho is another player. I think those two players can come in and change the game because in the end, you need Cole Palmer closer to goal and you need some wingers because when a team is playing so compact, the way to beat them is to get wide, use the width, pull them out, and then whip balls in. So I think that's the difference. Oh, it looks like Reece James is coming in. Okay.
Yeah, Malo Gusto has had a stinker. It's got to be him, right? Yeah, Malo Gusto. He had a horrendous first half.
And it's also the experience of it. We talk about, oh, yeah, this is a Mickey Mouse Cup for Chelsea, but they're playing like a bunch of kids right now.
Yeah, they need to play like men and adults in the second half. Let's get back to your match commentators, Jackie Oatley and Andy Hinchcliffe, for the second period. We'll see you at full time.
One change apiece at half-time. The Chelsea captain, Reece James, has come on for Malo Gusto, who suffered a difficult first half. And Ricardo Rodriguez has gone off for Real Betis. Romain Perraud coming on at full-back. We're back underway in Wroclaw. Chelsea with their club captain straight into the thick of the action, straight off the substitutes bench. And will this be a different Chelsea side to the one we saw in the first half? Isco picking up where he left off in that first period, where he was so instrumental in everything positive that Real Betis did. And look at him now, trying to weave his magic once again. And he just runs out of grass. Andy Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, I can understand that change by Enzo Maresca, because Malo Gusto, it just simply wasn't working. Zolzauli was having a field day really down the left-hand side, so no surprise Reece James has come on. He has to deal with that problem, contain a dangerous wide player. So if they can deal with that, then maybe they can develop again going forward. But I'm presuming Rodriguez going off for Betis as well, changing left-backs. Presumably that's maybe an injury, or just to maybe freshen things up in the Spaniards' defence. Just looking at Reece James's position, he's doing exactly what Malo Gusto did when they have the ball. Chelsea stepping into midfield, and that caused them problems when they lost it. Space on the left-hand side for Zolzauli was really worrying for Chelsea.
Chalobah now. Caicedo in towards Jackson. He just ran away from him a little. Fernandez now onto Madueke. Cucurella. Is there a change of tempo to this Chelsea side? They were outplayed by Real Betis, particularly in key areas. The Spaniards much sharper in the final third, despite Chelsea having 2/3 of the possession. They really struggled to break them down.
Yeah, the best team won the first half. Again, there's still a lot of work to do in this second half. I think primarily to contain Chelsea. Surely they will step the tempo up, and will the quality improve?
James, that's a good-looking ball in from Reece James. Fernandez can't keep it in. That was positive from the skipper.
Yeah, just maybe slightly overhits it. Again, it's asking a different defensive question. Betis, just deliver that ball. You know, for on-rushing attackers, if defenders are caught ball watching, there may be opportunities. But already, start this second half, it looks like Maresca's really fired his team up and looking a lot sharper, more hungry. There's more energy, application. They've got to take the game to Betis.
Decision goes against Isco, who he must have mentioned so many times in the first half, on merit. Just a beautiful player to watch. His balance, his low centre of gravity makes football look so easy. Finds space in tight areas, something Cole Palmer's trying to do here.
Yeah, I thought I could play football, Jackie, but then you watch Isco play and you think, hang on a minute, I was playing a totally different game to him.
Different sport to most of us.
Pushing.
Chalobah getting the nod in central defence alongside Benoit Badiashile instead of Tosin and Levi Colwill. If Chelsea lose this final tonight, one they were expected to win, there'll be no doubt questions post-match about the selection of the head coach Maresca as the serve is fouled. It was difficult to read his mind in the build-up to this final. Does he go with the side that have got Chelsea to this stage, many of them alternative players, very talented, some of them very young, the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall, Champong, the right back as well. Yeah, the regular midfield, changing the defence. Jackson's made the run, the flag stays down for now. Nicholas Jackson, only as far as Nathan, and now the flag goes up as expected.
Yeah, the pullback was a poor one. It just looked as if he'd gone slightly too early. But again, that's encouraging. In the first half, Nicholas Jackson was just standing still, expecting the ball to come to him. On that occasion, he makes a run. So whether you're running short to get the ball to feet or looking to spin and running behind the defence, move. And that's what he does there. He just goes slightly too early, but that's more of what Chelsea need from him.
The legendary Chelsea captain John Terry has been speaking in the last couple of days, saying he thinks his old side need to invest in an experienced, expensive centre-forward. But the philosophy has been to buy relatively expensive but very young. And that's why Enzo Maresca was so defiant when they did seal 4th place on Sunday with that win at Nottingham Forest. And they did secure Champions League football. He used a couple of rude words to stick it to his critics. We won't repeat them here. But he was basically saying, job done, despite what you all said. And it's John Terry saying he wants to see 2 or 3 experienced players coming in to really add to the value of the otherwise very young squad. Cucurella. Jurgensen, the 23-year-old. And the decision goes against Chelsea.
Yeah, it's just a high boot from Nicholas Jackson. There's no malice intended. I think he just sees the ball, doesn't see Bartra stepping in. He does seem to catch him. So he's got eyes on the ball. There's no malice there at all. It doesn't actually look that bad, really. There's a bit of contact, maybe just a brush of the studs there. I'm sure Bartra will be okay. He's a tough defender. Yeah, I suppose from the Chelsea point of view, look at the squad. It is a talented squad. They've again made the Champions League. They could still win this title, but if they're going to maybe push on and win the Premier League or win the Champions League, it'll be a number of years if you continue to go just for young players. But if you bring in a bit more experience, maybe that accelerates the process. It depends what Chelsea are really after in the next 4 or 5 years.
Trophies. Trophies and more trophies. They've won plenty of them. And won the Champions League twice as 19-year-old Jesus Rodriguez is about to come on for the second Real Betis substitute. And we're going to make that change now. The goal scorer Abde Ezzalzouli has been receiving treatment. Jesus Rodriguez is about to come on. 19 years of age, called up to the Spain under-21 side. A really promising young talent, but a sad sight to see the Moroccan goalscorer limp off like that. He was so exceptional in the first half and scored the only goal of the game so far.
Yeah, I think Reece James will be very happy that he's gone off, but Jesus Rodriguez is a dangerous player as well, dangerous young player. I think that's probably one position that Pellegrini had a bit of choice with these 2 players, the one that started, the one that's come on, who actually started the game, and he made the right choice with Ezzalzouli scoring that brilliant goal. It's now down to Rodriguez to go on and do a similar job, really, but he's not going to find it easy. He's a very young player himself up against Reece James, who is experienced and physically strong.
Chalobah, Neto. Palmer's made the run, but Neto gives it straight to the young sub, Isco. He's creating his own highlights reel, Isco. Palmer is a shadow of the player that we saw in the first half of the season. What do you put that down to tonight? Is that down to Real Betis and their tactics, or is he just slightly off the boil?
I think it's a combination of things, yes. He hasn't had a good second half of the season. I think here they're making it really difficult for him to get on the ball in between the lines, so he's not had a lot of the ball, and he has had it as an occasion in the first half, and he dribbled, and I think the strike was one of a kind of a player that's short in confidence. But again, he's got to keep believing. Mental strength is so important throughout your career. In games like this, keep believing, keep trying, get into good goal-scoring position. Eventually, the dam will burst, because he's shown he is a quality player.
Away kick. Jackson's in the centre, so too Palmer. Jackson's there. Adrian came out. Well, the Chelsea players are screaming for a penalty for the challenge on Nicholas Jackson by the goalkeeper Adrian.
Yeah, they clearly feel that the goalkeeper took the centre forward out. It's a cross he's always going to have to come and deal with because his defenders simply weren't there. The way those Chelsea players react, they clearly feel that that Jackson was caught by Adrian.
Shield looks to have been shown a yellow card for his protest. VAR are looking for a potential penalty. There's Madueke with the cross. Adrian came out with eyes on the ball.
It seems to me as if they arrive at the same time. But this is what Chelsea need to do. Play with width, get crosses in. See, as Adrian comes out there, I think he virtually arrives at the same time, and you can't judge the challenge on maybe the injury to the Chelsea player. I feel the keeper has every right to go for the ball and gets there at just at the same time. He's not late. He doesn't miss the ball and catch the player, so very interesting to see how this is assessed.
Well, they are still checking for a potential penalty. The VAR is the Frenchman, Jérôme Brissard. Check over. It will be a corner to Chelsea and not a penalty.
Yeah, it's a slight risk when the ball is drifting away from the goalkeeper. It is all about timing, getting there at just the right time, and Adrian just about got his timing correct there.
Neto with the corner for Chelsea. Just Shields there. So to James! And it came off Nathan, who celebrates the block as if he's just scored a goal.
Yeah, James is always going to shoot. It's just too tempting. Bouncing ball on the angle. Let fly.
There's a bit more intensity about Chelsea's play now. James with the corner. Decent looking delivery. Into the danger area. Adrian is there this time.
That's such a poor cross. It's brilliant from Enzo Fernandez. Great control, lays the ball out wide. It's just a really poor ball in. There's targets in the box. You've got to pick out one of your teammates. You can't be playing that into the goalkeeper's gloves.
It's Jackson with the ball in. Here's Isco. Really overhit.
That's a poor ball in, but again, it all starts with Isco, his attacking intelligence. He appreciates the long forward ball is going to be played. He gets in between the lines so he can secure that forward ball. Then he's, he turns and he's on the run and he turns defence to attack very quickly. Betis.
It's Anthony's cross, and he's not been in the sort of form we're used to seeing from him in recent weeks and months. It's Jackson's chasing that one down.
It's another poor forward ball. Again, they're encouraging Nicholas Jackson on the move. I just didn't see this in the first half from him. Far too static. Now he's looking a lot more mobile.
23-year-old Senegal international. Confirmation of that yellow card for dissent from Benoit Badiashile. As Chelsea players were screaming for a penalty when Adrian came out to challenge Jackson.
I'm sure it's the fact that Chelsea players saw the way that their player went down and that made them feel it must be a foul, but I think the referee VAR did a really good job of assessing that and got the decision right.
And also it's a final. They want it to be a penalty. The Verde Blancos away to our left are having a fabulous night. Their first UEFA final in their history. They are absolutely bouncing.
Yeah, I do feel that the team will need the fans. They'll need the energy from the fans because I'm sure the longer the game goes on, if it's still 1-0, they will sit deeper and deeper. Chelsea will press. And those Betis fans can be the 12th man.
Neto's calling for it on this near side. Caicedo plays it right against the legs of the referee, has no choice but to stop play for an uncontested drop ball when the ball changes possession.
Well, Cucurella there is having a go at the referee for being in the way, but come on, it doesn't happen very often, does it? He's not trying to intentionally stop Chelsea going forward, so give the guy a break.
Jadon Sancho the next man off the bench for Chelsea. Will it be Pedro Neto, who he replaces, or Noni Madueke perhaps?
Well, it's Neto that catches Perro here. It's a poor touch from Neto. It gets away from him. He goes chasing it. Left back steps in. He seems to get caught. He's maybe made a bit of a meal of it, the left back, but you see there, he steps in, wins the ball, just gets caught on a toe and then goes down. As if he's really been caught, but it's good defending. The ball gets away from Neto, so step in as a fullback. Got an opportunity to win that ball back if you can.
There's a double change for Chelsea. Levi Colwill coming on as well as Jadon Sancho. Enzo Maresca giving the rest of players until the hour mark to implement his directives at the break, and presumably he's not happy enough with what he's seen. And he's making the change. Badiashile to Cucurella. The feel-good factor from Sunday dissipating fast for Chelsea. But what can these two do to change the narrative?
I think Chelsea have been better in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, showing far more. But when you've got an attacking bench like Maresca has, or you want to shore things up the back, you've got to make these changes, and I think make them early enough that they can have an effect on the game, and that's why he's doing it now.
So Jadon Sancho replacing Pedro Neto. And Benoit Badiashile, the player to make way for Levi Colwill. Strong stuff again from Real Betis. A little fortunate that Cambu couldn't take the ball in his stride.
I think with Colwill coming on, I'm presuming it's that Badiashile yellow card that Maresca can't take a risk with a player maybe getting a second yellow card and getting sent off down to 10 men. That can't happen, so maybe that's why he's changed his centre half.
It would make sense. So 3 Chelsea substitutions, 2 from Real Betis.
But with Betis, I think their attacking in the second half is going to be a bit more sporadic than it was in the first half, but they've still got the quality, I think the mindset, the attacking mindset to, you know, make the few attacks that they actually carry out really effective.
Turned by Caicedo, Ecuadorian to his fellow South American midfielder Enzo Fernandez, looking for Nicholas Jackson. And Bartra followed it all the way, so his goalkeeper Adrian could clear.
But again, good move from Jackson, running in behind centre halves. That brings the goalkeeper out of his area. Adrian again timed his move out of the box, you know, perfectly. Took all the pressure off Bartra.
And the Chelsea fans piping up behind the goal, to which they are attacking now. Madueke's crosses blocked. Isco. Fornals loses out to Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez, more intensity to the Chelsea play now. There has to be. Jadon Sancho's maiden voyage down the left wing comes to nothing. Player on loan from Manchester United, his future unclear. So too that of Anthony. On the Real Betis side as Madueke runs into Perraud.
You mentioned future unclear. I think the future of Manchester United as a whole is pretty unclear, isn't it?
An awful season it's been for them. And then losing the chance of Champions League football won by Tottenham last week. Chelsea already have Champions League football. Real Betis already have Europa League football. This is all about a new trophy for either side. Sancho. Palmer. Sancho trying to dance his way through, and this is better. Palmer. Play by Rodriguez.
Enzo Maresca was absolutely right in describing what a win here, and how it would change the season. It would turn it from a good one to a great one, but of course you've got to go and win it. And Betis clearly not just going to lie down and let you win the title.
Palmer. So much talent and ability. Not let him play tonight. It's a lovely curling ball in. Oh, there is the equaliser. Whoa. It's Enzo Fernandez right in front of the Chelsea supporters, and that is the reaction Enzo Maresca wanted, and that is the reaction that Chelsea needed.
Finally, a bit of attacking quality. We talked about Cole Palmer and showing mental strength. Keep wanting the ball, keep trying to make things happen, create, score. It's a wonderful cross, but it's that deep run from Enzo Fernandez. It's really difficult to pick up. If defenders watch the ball and you don't track that run, you've got a problem. And it's a really considered header as well, because there's pace on the ball. It's moving towards the target. He just helps it on its way. He assesses what he needs to do to score quite brilliantly. Cole Palmer twisting and turning, eventually not trying to do too much, taking on too many players. Just the angle, the weight of the cross is outstanding. The pace is on it, and it's in behind the Betis defence. I've talked about that so often this evening. Get in behind the defence with a quality ball. They do. And the on-rushing midfielder times the run to perfection, but then the type of header he needs to utilise to score, and it's just using the pace that's on the ball. Don't head it too solidly. It's a glancing header. Use the pace that's on it. Keeper has no chance. It's game on.
Apakah terjadi remontada?
He scored at Copenhagen in March. He scored in Wrocław in May. That could be the biggest goal of the season for Chelsea. So dominant in this campaign. They've been up against it tonight. And how will Real Betis respond?
Well, goal scorers always take the glory. So again, Ezalzouli scoring, Fernandez scoring, but the players that created the goals, Isco and Palmer, huge influence on the scoreline.
Flag goes up. Chelsea tails are up. And for once, Isco doesn't have his own way.
It's amazing what goals can do for games, goals can do for teams. Suddenly Chelsea, everybody wants the ball. As the equaliser hit the net, they feel they've kind of got through a really difficult 65 minutes or so, and now they're in the ascendancy.
What will that do for their confidence? The goal scorer Fernandez. Now here's Sancho. Flying forwards, taking on Sabali. Chelsea performance in the first half was just so flat and stale. It needed an injection of pace and energy and just something different. Sancho again. Enzo Fernandez. Cucurella, unmistakable with that mop on his head. Palmer, architect of the equaliser, wanted a free kick, denied.
Well, Betis just simply can't get up the pitch. They can't get to the Chelsea half. They're being pinned in.
Sancho to Palmer! Adrian with the stop.
It's a decent effort, but it's one the keeper should save. And a left-footed strike, it's moving back towards the goalkeeper. So as long as his positioning is good and he's ready to make the save, it's no problem. But Chelsea look completely different. The urgency, the tempo. With Betis camped on the edge of their own box, they've got to be very careful here, Betis. They need to get up the pitch and relieve some of this huge pressure they're under.
And Chelsea have flicked the switch. They've come alive, but now they have some defending to do. Perrault. Cardoso, the American. Still Johnny Cardoso. Now Isco, the danger man. Colwell in the way. Sancho urged up the other end of the field by the wall of blue away to our right. Looking to suck that ball into the back of the net again. Palmer. They know he wants it on his left foot. Ushered him onto his right. Caicedo. Fernandez. Sancho. Madueke. Palmer's made the run. Here he is. Up against the former Southampton defender. Perot now. And Chelsea have come from behind. They've turned this final on its head, and it's Nicholas Jackson back in the starting lineup.
Boleh.
Well, Chelsea have turned the game around. Cole Palmer has pretty much single-handedly turned the game around. First half, we just never saw him, he never got on the ball, but now he's starting to get on the ball, he's dictating the play, he looks full of confidence. After creating the first goal, he's saying to the Chelsea players, just keep giving me the ball, I'll make something happen. And he just rolls his foot over the ball, gets into a great attacking position, and the cross is just perfection. It's a cross designed for the person on the end of it. It's not just putting his head down and flashing it in there because that's what he wants to do. He's thinking about Nicholas Jackson. Brilliant play on 2 occasions now from Cole Palmer. He just slows defenders down, just rolls his foot over the ball. And that just opens up a bit of space for him. And this is just, it's pure confidence. Again, his confidence is flowing now. The cross is an absolute beauty. It picks out his teammate. Now, many players in this position just put their head down, flash it in, and nothing comes of it. But he has a little look, and it's just a beauty. The way that ball is bent in behind the defensive line again, and it doesn't matter what it comes off as long as it goes into the back of the net. Nicholas Jackson's made his move. He's been a lot more mobile in this second half. And he's given Chelsea the lead, but Cole Palmer outstanding in creating chances.
Maresca said that Nicholas Jackson owes his teammates a debt after being sent off against Newcastle, costing them that game. It didn't cost them Champions League football in the end. Missed the last 2 games of the season through suspension, but he's paid them back here as Bakambu is replaced by Aitor Ruibal. Unmistakable. I don't think that's his natural colour. Al-Zali can only sit and watch. His goal that put Real Betis deservedly in front so early on, and they'd come flying out the traps and were certainly the better side in the first half. They couldn't find a second goal that would have given them that cushion. Bartra denied by this man Jurgensen. And a chance also for Cardoso, which was blocked. And they went in at the break just 1-0 up. You did wonder whether that would ultimately be enough against such a talented Chelsea side with plenty more talent on the bench. They were flat in the first half, the tails are up in the second, the changes have been made, and they paid off.
Absolutely. Maresca at half-time would have said we're maybe lucky to still be in the game, but we are. It's only 1-0. We just need to step things up, need to believe a little bit more, get our key players on the ball, creating things. That's exactly what's happened with Cole Palmer. So credit the Chelsea players, for actually doing it themselves, because we knew that Betis, without getting that second goal, would sit a little bit deeper. That's exactly what's happened. It's about breaking that defence down, and Cole Palmer on 2 occasions has opened them up, and that's why Chelsea are now leading. But it never looked like happening after that first half, because it was really pretty much total domination from Real Betis, but different now.
Nicholas Jackson has scored both previous goals in this competition in the semi-final first leg at Djurgården. That could be an absolutely vital one. Madueke now down with the interception. Here's Jean Rodriguez. A bit of play from him. Fornals. Anthony's beaten to it by Cucurella. You said what a fascinating battle that should be. It hasn't really played out that way so far, and they could really do with Anthony now. Flick from Isco, looking for the teenager.
Yeah, Anthony needs to do for Betis what Cole Palmer's done for Chelsea, basically get on the ball and influence the game, dictate the game. He's hardly had a kick.
We said something similar about Cole Palmer in the first half, didn't we? And then he came alive. Anthony was complaining about the pitch yesterday. We were here watching training. It seemed to be okay from all the way up here, but he was saying it was denying him the opportunity to run fluidly. Jackson lays it off from Madueke. Martin back to cover. Two players bursting through the centre. Madueke couldn't find either of them. Now here's Palmer. Suddenly full of confidence.
That was a wasted opportunity though, but Madueke, if he'd got his head up and just played the ball, as you say, either straight down the middle or out to the left-hand side, the counter-attack was on. There was 3 or 4 blue shirts to his left. He just didn't see them and didn't pass the ball. They've got to dig deep here, Betis. They've got to stay in the game. That's what Chelsea had to do at 1-0 down. Betis have to do that now. If they go 3-1 down, it's pretty much game over.
Quarter of an hour remaining for Betis to try to find a goal that would force extra time and potentially a penalty shootout if required. Isco can maintain the influence that he had in that first half at 33 years of age. And with the fresh legs of Chelsea coming on too, talent and class is not in question. Betis have in reserve. Anthony's ball in towards Isco. There's a question mark about offside. Isco urging the fans to bring the noise once again. They provided so much energy. Isco gets it back. In towards Cardoso. Jackson to clear. Sancho. Now Jackson striding into the half
Nicolas
of the
Jackson
field,
again.
occupied only by Adrian. He's over, hit it, and his touch let him down at the vital moment. He was one-on-one with Adrian.
That is a massive let-off. Just how important could that prove to be for Betis, because from their corner they were caught out badly, short of defensive numbers and just a heavy touch. That shouldn't happen. He's actually injured himself. He's gone down now, Nicolas Jackson.
On we go with Fornals. Aitor Ruibal. Now Anthony. And he heard them with that left foot of his. Cucurella knows he wants it on his left foot.
Enzo Fernandez.
And Chelsea either have to play the ball out themselves or wait.
Enzo.
Or for the whistle to blow. Rodriguez.
Boleh.
Turns into danger of Palmer, who can now boot the ball out of play.
Nicolas Jackson.
Of course, the Chelsea players aren't happy. Their man is down. They feel that Betis should put the ball out. There's no obligation, Betis, to put the ball out of play.
2-1 Chelsea.
Okay, he's injured, but it's not a massively serious injury, you presume, so that's why the Spaniards rightly carried on.
Boleh nih. Anjir, Nicolas Jackson. Tapi kipasnya di Cole Palmer nih, gila.
Here's the opportunity again. It's actually a poor pass, a surprise poor pass from Isco. That enables Chelsea to break forward. One decent touch.
Apa ya Nicolas Jackson ya?
And then such a poor second touch. It gets away from him. It's comfortable for Adrian to step in, but that shouldn't be happening. Keep that ball close. He's got support as well to his right. So either he scores or he lays the ball off, but you cannot let the ball get away from you like that. It could be so costly for Chelsea.
That was a big moment, as was his goal. Cole Palmer was booked for dissent after the referee had blown to stop play. He booted the ball into the crowd, furious with the referee for not stopping play earlier, but as you say, Andy, he's under no obligation to do so.
Betis aren't under obligation when they're in possession to put the ball out of play. The referee can't stop the game unless he feels it's a head injury or a serious injury, then it's a different story, but it clearly wasn't. So play on until you get the ball back, Chelsea, then put it out of play.
Now Kiernan Dewsbury Hall will get his opportunity. The summer signing from Leicester City. The side he helped reach the Premier League under Enzo Maresca, though they've gone straight back down without the two of them. 26 years of age, one of the older players, thought of as being a youngster, but not so, given the average age of this Chelsea side is so young. He scored the winner in the second leg of the semi-final against Djurgården. But only made 2 starts in his first Premier League season at Chelsea. There had been a doubt as to whether he'd leave in January, as Jackson limps off. Chelsea do have the Club World Cup to come, remember. So not much of a break for these players. Some will be off on international duty after this. So there will be stoppage time added on at the end of the 90. That's a loose one from Jesus Rodriguez. And he wins it back from Dewsbury Hall. Bartra, the intentional ball forward, looking for Aitor Ruibal.
Yeah, it's really good defending from Colwell. That's how to defend without actually playing the ball. He doesn't foul Ruibal, he just steps across his attacking line, and just really intelligent defensive positioning.
Giovanni Lo Celso about to come on. Sergio Altamira also coming on too. Chelsea looking to put this game to bed. Just over 8 minutes of the 90 remaining. Jadon Sancho thought about going himself. He could do with somebody running outside of him as an option, and no one was willing to do so. I can understand, Andy, Chelsea on the one hand want to put the game to bed with another goal, but they don't want to take any unnecessary risks either.
Yeah, it's trying to get that balance right, isn't it? And that's why that Jackson opportunity when he broke forward, if they could have capitalised on that, made it 3-1, I think it just knocks all the stuffing out of Betis, and the title is won. But at 2-1, you missed that opportunity. You're just caught between, do we really need a third goal, or do we sit back and try and protect the lead? You kind of get caught between two stools, really, so it's difficult to manage with only 10 minutes left in the game.
Dewsbury Hall tries to thread it through to Sancho. Sancho goes for goal! And now Chelsea can feel that trophy in their grasp. They've had to do it the hard way. Real Betis' hearts are broken. Their major UEFA trophy being snatched away from them.
Ban it like Beckham, man.
All that good work in the first half appears to be for nothing, as Jadon Sancho now has started the party for Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea's attacking quality in the second half has shone through, as Betis, as we probably expected, tired and sat a little bit deeper, but there's an opportunity for this to be cleared. It's poor in midfield for Dewsbury Hall to get on the ball. When this ball is played out wide, Sabali should be dealing with this. The ball skips past him, and then Jadon Sancho does everything right, just shifts the ball, doesn't try and smash it home, he just whips it with his instep. So he gets the power, he gets the accuracy. He should never really have received the ball. Sabali should have done better. It's into the side netting, it's pretty much unsavable. Once Sancho's in this position as a defender, you've got a major problem. He's really clever, doesn't try and take his man on, just opens up a bit of space and curls it beautifully in at the far post. The ball shouldn't have got there, it did. And I think Sancho has pretty much killed the game off now.
And the substitutes combine to great effect. With Chelsea quality
Hanyalah
shines through. Real Betis will be devastated with the way that has happened. Sergio Altimira and Giovanni Lo Celso on to desperately try to salvage something in the last 5 minutes. There will be a fair bit of stoppage time for the injury to Jackson and the various substitution windows that we've had in the second half. And for goal celebrations as well, they all get taken into consideration. But they need something soon. They need their big players to step up. Isco's done just that. Rodriguez claiming that he was fouled, claiming there was a handball in there too.
Well, of course, VAR have a good look at this. Clever little scoop from Isco. Couldn't really take it first time, Rodriguez. He had to control it. I think the fact he then controls it just gives Reece James the chance to get back in and make a challenge. Appealing for handball, there absolutely isn't one in there, but it was a chance to maybe get a goal back.
Isco. Anthony. Well, we've seen him score from that position so many times.
I think Anthony's actually criticising Rubal for not making a run across the near post. It looked to me as if Anthony was shooting and not crossing, so I don't know why he's criticising Rubal for that.
Sancho.
It's been that classic game of two halves, hasn't it? And we did wonder about Betis, would they tire, would they sit deep, would the Chelsea attacking quality shine through, and it has.
Chalobah's caught by Rubal.
You have to go back to that first half as well, Jackie, with Jurgensen, the save that he made from Bartra. He dealt with a dangerous free kick as well, so the Chelsea goalkeeper certainly played a part in Chelsea possibly going on to pick this title up.
Well, Cole Palmer has more than played his part. Exceptional moments in the second half which have made the difference in turning this game around, and young Marc Guiu will get his opportunity off the bench. The 19-year-old Spain under-19 international who scored a hat-trick against Shamrock Rovers earlier on in the campaign, an injury-hit campaign.
Yeah, the first half was the Isco show, the second half it's Cole Palmer. Not saying it was single-handed, but without him, I don't feel Chelsea turned this around.
Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea breathing a sigh of relief now as they can feel how close the victory is. A victory so expected of them. No doubt that expectation can weigh heavily on those shoulders, even the few experienced players they have.
It's been a great response. If you look at it in the Premier League as well, there's criticism about their age, their maybe lack of maturity. They responded really well and qualified for the Champions League and asked big questions at half-time here. They've responded again really well.
Well, emotions spilling over now. Major disappointment for Anthony, who's had such an exceptional campaign on loan for Manchester United, particularly in the semi-finals. Instrumental in getting Real Betis to this stage. But it has not been his night.
No, he'll be really disappointed with his lack of contribution. Whether that's had anything to do with what's happened here, I don't know. But it's not as if Cucurella has really dominated him. He just hasn't had a lot of the ball. When he's had it, nothing has really happened for him. It's a bit of silliness again from Anthony there, just lowering his head. It's not a headbutt by any means, but again, just reacts to Enzo Fernandez maybe giving him a bit of grief and just lowers his head. It's just all unnecessary. But again, it's the frustration, his frustration, Betis' frustration at the way this second half has gone.
Well, there are pockets of Real Betis supporters who are still banging those drums in defiance. Their side has not let them down tonight. It's just that Chelsea have the firepower, they have the quality in abundance, in depth, to turn this game around.
Yeah, it'll be no consolation. Of course, you lose a final, you're devastated. But you remember they finished 15th in the league phase, so to get to the final, extraordinary achievement. Just Chelsea with their extra quality, attacking quality, of taking the game away from them in the second half. It's what we maybe expected would happen, but that's no big criticism of Real Betis. They've been absolutely outstanding in the competition.
It has been a phenomenal campaign for them. First ever UEFA final. Perraud whips in an early ball. Aitor Rubal was there, be dealt with eventually by Cucurella. Into the 5 minutes of added time, minimum thereof, as Cucurella does really well to set Sancho on his way.
As long as that cross came in from Perraud, it was a brilliant ball in. Rubal couldn't get to, but Anthony's just standing way out on the far post. He's got to make a run in at the far post and threaten Cucurella.
Especially at this stage of the game, as Enzo Fernandez finds Caicedo! And now the party can start! It's Chelsea's trophy! It's Maresca's trophy! They were the overwhelming favourites, and they got there in the end! A dominant campaign from start to finish.
The fourth goal is the icing on the cake, just as Betis are getting tighter and tighter. They're just looking really stretched, a bit more laboured defensively, not getting blocks in. It's a little bit too easy for Caicedo to get that strike in. But I think it's just down to the amount of defensive work Betis have had to do, and they've just run out of steam. And Chelsea have just, in the second half, have just steamrolled them. Well, this is harsh on Betis. They didn't deserve to lose the game by a 3-goal margin. They were the better team in the first half, but of course, it's whether you can replicate that in the second half. Can you hold out? Can you contain? And they're just so dangerous, Chelsea. They've been relentless, but no one's really stepping out to face Caicedo there. It's a bit too easy. That wouldn't have happened in the first half. So again, they've just got tighter and tighter, and Chelsea have really taken advantage. Maybe a bit of a touch on the strike, which takes it away from the goalkeeper. So they're just having no luck either. But the better team in the second half has just taken the game away from Betis.
The final punctuation mark on an outstanding season from Moises Caicedo, the only Chelsea player to start all 38 Premier League matches. No doubt about it in the end, but they did not have it all their own way.
I did always feel that the game would be decided on how well Betis defend. We knew they're good for a goal. They scored one, could have had 2 or 3, but we always worry about them. They hadn't had a clean sheet in 11 games going into this one, so there's always that worry, and you're up against a really good attacking machine if it clicks. And in the second half, it has clicked. It's been inspired by Cole Palmer, but we're starting to see with Sancho and Caicedo, that attacking game for Chelsea has really paid dividends in the second half, and Betis just weren't able to hold out.
Bartra striding up from the back. He had a chance in the first half. Well, we know he can strike a ball. And he didn't force Jurgensen into the save that time. There's still 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining almost. But the Chelsea substitutes have all stripped off their bibs. And they're ready to celebrate. They're already bouncing around in the technical area. And it's tears of sorrow for the Real Betis fans, who have been outstanding. From a good couple of hours before the match, they came to party. Their first time ever in a European final.
Yeah, the fans have been absolutely incredible throughout the campaign. The players have as well, so there's no shame in defeat here against a very good Chelsea side. But for Chelsea, they were fancied to win the competition before a ball was kicked. You're still going to go and do it, so they're under massive pressure every single game, and they've responded brilliantly. Only lost 1 game in 13 that they've played. That is just incredible.
Well, the strike goal was hit Trevor Chalobah in the face, and he's taken exception to it.
Yeah, he clearly felt, I think the whistle had gone, and then the ball is struck, and I don't know whether Perrault actually meant it to...
Anthony's night at all. It wasn't Chelsea's first half, but they turned it around in the second half and were worthy champions in the end. And their manager, Enzo Maresca, has secured silverware to go with the Champions League football in his very first season at the helm. The apprentice, having conquered the master, beating the man who taught him so much about the game. So there's no shame in defeat for Real Betis. Chelsea simply had too much.
Absolutely, I think Betis made it a wonderful final. Their first half performance was outstanding. They bettered Chelsea. They just probably needed a second goal or a third goal, because we always thought if Chelsea click into gear, they could take the game away from them. But give this young Chelsea team a huge amount of credit. They're under pressure from game one. They've only lost one game in the whole competition, top scorers in the competition's history. So for a young side, this is a massive step forward. Winning a trophy, qualifying for the Champions League. For Enzo Maresca, he's absolutely right. A good season has now become a great one.
King Chelsea sama King Spurs. Ditanya puasa. Congrats Chelsea, congrats.
So it's all over in Wrocław. What a comeback from Chelsea to win the 2025 Conference League. 4-1 the final score. Enzo Fernandez, Nicolas Jackson, Jadon Sancho and Moises Caicedo with the goals to complete the set of European trophies for the Blues. They had to sweat it out in the first half, but celebrations now for all the Chelsea fans, the players inside the stadium who've made the trip from London to Poland. Heartbreak then for Betis. Adam Hunt here in the studio with Nigel Reo-Coker, Charlie Davies and Nico Cantor. Nigel, fair play to Chelsea and Enzo Maresca.